Society Group is just about, talking about the problems and the challenges that we are having in the Niger Delta. And, over the years, we have been facing a lot of problems. And these problems are endemic. And as we speak, we still have the problems. The people there are still facing the problems that they have been facing over the years. And it is on account of these problems that seem not to go for decades that people are clamoring and they are coming out, they are shouting, and they now want to express their feelings and their grievances into the hearing of the government, for government to come to their, to their aid, for the government to know their challenges, for government to know what they are really going through over the years. And it's on the basis of this that we are calling this press conference for people, for our media people, at least to carry to carry these problems, to give enough publicity to these challenges which people are facing in the Niger Delta or in the South-South region generally. So, and here we go. The Coalition of Civil Society Group in Nigeria urgently addressed the nation to express grave concern over the federal government's approach to pipeline security in the Niger Delta. Despite commendations to the Nigerian Navy and President Bola Tinubu for recent efforts to curb oil theft, the coalition is alarmed by the ongoing environmental and security crisis affecting local communities, exacerbated by questionable pipeline surveillance contracts. We commend the Nigerian Navy for remarkable efforts to deal with the oil theft and the determination to root out illegal refineries, which have serious implications on domestic and corporation utility of petroleum products. Military troops deactivate 68 illegal refining sites in Niger Delta. The troops also recovered 234,000 liters of stolen crude oil, 160,800. Nigeria remains largely dependent on oil, but exploration must take into consideration humanity in the context of environmental and livelihood security. Nigeria currently has 25 licensed modular refineries. 5 of them are operating and producing diesel, kerosene, black oil, and naphtha. About 10 are under various stages of completion, while the others have received licenses to establish. While efforts are being made to revive the 4 other refineries, the future of oil production depends on security. Our concern. We are, however, concerned about the future of oil, livelihood, and human security in Nigeria. What will Nigeria look like in the next 15 to 20 years? What immediate short-term and long-term and strategy do we have for oil security and national security? Will Nigeria oil installations continue to be protected by non-state actors? What is the mission of the state actors currently charged with the responsibility of protecting oil assets? Recent developments highlight a disturbing trend. That is, surveillance contracts are being awarded to individuals and entities with a history of militant activity against Nigerian state. Such decisions not only compromise national security, but also risk empowering these groups to further arm themselves, thereby perpetuating violence and instability in a region already beset by challenges. The shocking attack in Okuma village, resulting in the tragic loss of 17 soldiers, serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of arming those with a history of violence, one of which is the proliferation of arms and the fact that many non-state actors are still in possession of illicit weapons. It means the killings of soldiers and civilians in the oil-producing areas may continue. We are worried that from what we have seen, violence in the Niger Delta is fueled by many factors. The coalition insists that entrusting pipeline security to those with militant backgrounds undermines Nigerian sovereignty and international reputation, particularly within OPEC. President Tinubu is urged to intervene and direct the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to cease the award of surveillance contracts to companies led by individuals of questionable character, such as Tanita Limited and government's Epolopolo. The coalition questions the interest of the NNPC top management may have in these entities, and their propensity to assign national asset protection to no militants. By continuing this practice, the Nigerian state appears to be yielding to the demands of militants rather than upholding the rule of law and ensuring the safety of citizens. This capitulation threatens to erode public confidence and the authority of the state. Arms proliferation in Nigeria is a threat. Armed proliferation in Nigeria is a threat to regional stability. Armed groups taking role of pipeline contractors is a time bomb. It will push Nigeria to the brink with the passage of time. What we see today undermine international laws and conventions of United Nations. The Arms Trade Treaty is the first legally binding instrument ever negotiated in the United Nations to establish common standards for the international transfer of conventional weapons. The proliferation of arms is against international laws and conventions of which Nigeria is a signatory. The handing over of pipelines to armed groups will further undermine these international conventions, which include, but not limited to, the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, the Biological and Chemical Weapons Convention, the Anti-Personnel Landmine Conventions, the Convention on Cluster Munitions, the Convention on Certain Arms Proliferations. The coalition calls upon President Tinubu to take following steps immediately to save Nigeria from a major calamity that may soon befall oil production in Nigeria. 1. Review and revoke pipeline surveillance contracts currently held by people associated with violence in the past and even terrorism, including former armed militants, to prevent the potential misuse of such funds for arms proliferation. The United Nations recently listed Nigeria as home to 75% of over 500 million illegal weapons in Nigeria. This is a dangerous spell. President Tinubu should investigate the proliferation of arms in the Niger Delta, including the role of armed militants in the importation of illegal weapons. This is a major issue that must be addressed if Nigeria is to be taken seriously by the international community. Professional groups can be given the role of oil pipeline protection, but not leaders of armed groups who have taken active roles in bombing oil pipelines, kidnapping, or forms of violence in Nigeria. Ensure that the Nigerian military and pipeline protection companies operate with the utmost professionalism and are not complicit in arms trafficking. Ensure that pipeline contracts must never be given to people linked with armed rebellion in the Niger Delta or anywhere in Nigeria. This undermines democracy, good governance, national and regional security. Militants being given billions to protect oil pipelines is self-deceit. It may fuel further proliferation of illicit arms in the Niger Delta. The coalition stands firm as a watchdog of society, vowing not to relent until these critical issues are addressed. It is a time for the Nigerian government to take decisive action to safeguard the nation's assets, restore confidence in its security apparatus, and maintain its standing in the international community. Thank you, and God bless.